Hello, this is Tyler with Analytive, and today we are going to talk about hidden benefits and how to discover them in your product or service. Hello, this is Tyler with Analytive, and welcome to the Analytive Podcast. So the other day I was driving back from the mall. I was hanging out with my fiance at the mall, and for some reason the FM radio was on. And normally I don't listen to FM radio. I typically listen to Spotify, but my phone wasn't connecting to the car. And so on this FM station, though, I was about ready to turn it back to a CD or to change a channel, and suddenly I heard an interview with a dentist. Right. And I know almost nothing about dentistry. In fact, I probably know less than the layperson about dentistry. I don't care about it. It's not an industry that particularly interests me. But this dentist just kind of caught my attention. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't an ad. I think he was just being interviewed by the host on the radio at that point. But if it was, it could have been one of the best ads that I've ever heard. Right. Why? Because he connected with his audience. This guy, this dentist on NPR, was a natural salesman. And what he did is, instead of talking about his practice or dentistry as most people talk about it, where he simply says something like, oh, well, come in and get your teeth cleaned for $99, or you need to brush and floss more, or whatever those things were that he said, he did something different. And that was, he told stories. And he told stories in a way that really connected, particularly with me, but I think just connected with his whole audience. Let me give you a couple examples of his stories. So, first of all, the host would just ask him, general dentistry questions, but then the dentist would always turn it into a story. And one of these was, he talked about a gentleman who got a procedure, I guess had a crooked tooth or something was wrong with his teeth. I don't even remember the exact details of the story. But what I do remember is that he went in, got his procedure done, and then 5 days later called the office back and told the doctor that this guy actually got a date, and he hadn't been on a date in over 5 years. But because of the confidence or because of his looks or whatever the doctor did to cosmetically improve his teeth, he felt more confident and was able to get a date after not being on a date in 5 years. Right? This taps into one of our natural needs, our natural desires, and that's to be loved. He told another story of a guy who got a procedure from him and then got a job interview out of it, right? He came in and he got his teeth cleaned and got everything repaired and looked really good. And then through that confidence, got a job interview and eventually landed a job. That idea plays to fear and significance, our fear of not having enough, and then significance, wanting to have a good job, to provide for our family, and to be successful. So how can you use these types of stories? Well, the thing is, yes, stories are useful, but even more useful is what he talked about. And that was this idea of a hidden benefit, right? A hidden benefit that really all he provided to these people, and on a practical level, was straighter teeth or whiter teeth. But in fact, what he really provided was a hidden benefit. It was more confidence. It was job opportunities, better looks, so this guy could get a date. Let me give you another example of recently of one that I've heard about. So there was a marketer at a convention it was insurance, actually, an insurance convention, and it was one that would recruit new insurance salesmen for this particular company. And throughout the convention, he talked with a lot of the current insurance salesmen and people running the office, and everybody there talked about golf, the sport of golf. So when he wrote the ad for this recruiting software, so he was working at the time for a company creating recruiting software, when he wrote the copy for this ad, his headline was basically, our software saves you time so that you can spend more time on the golf course. Right? Our software saves you time so you can spend more time on the golf course. Golf has nothing to do with recruiting. Right? I mean, the idea that golf has anything to do with recruiting is nothing, but he understood fundamentally his audience, and he found the hidden benefit. You could have argued that oh, yes, it just saves time, but he took it one step further and said, what's the hidden benefit? The hidden benefit for these guys is that they actually get to spend more time on the golf course. right? So as you're marketing your product, your brand, your service, go beyond the obvious benefits. Look for the hidden benefit, right? Does it save money? That's great, but why would your particular consumer want to save money? Is it because maybe they're over budget and their boss is constantly down their throat? Or maybe it's their spouse, right? If it's a consumer product, maybe it's their spouse, their husband or wife, that they're always spending or spending too much and their spouse is angry with them. Does it save them time? Okay, great. But what are they going to do with that time? And if you don't know, right, and you're targeting a niche market, there's probably an opportunity there for you to really research your market and understand them a little more deeply. So ask yourself, what is the hidden benefit of your product or service? And by the way, this doesn't come from your product or service. This actually comes from the mind of your customers, right? Like I said earlier, golf has nothing to do with recruiting or insurance. I mean, those things are not at all related objectively in any sense. But because the copywriter understood, he understood his audience, he understood the needs that they had, he could tap into that hidden benefit. So your hidden benefit for your product or service probably isn't a feature, right? It isn't something you can hold the product up and look at it and know what that is. You know this by spending time, by connecting with your customers. Let me give you one more example before we wrap up the podcast. So this past weekend, I actually turned 30 years old, and my fiance rented me a supercar, a Lamborghini. You can rent them by the hour, so we rented it for a couple of hours. It was an amazing experience, super fun. I'm a car guy. I love cars. I've never driven anything like it. If you get a chance to, I highly, highly recommend it. I was super grateful. But with brands like Lamborghini, why is a supercar great? I mean, who really needs to go to 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds or less than 3 seconds? Almost nobody. Let's just be honest. Nobody needs to do that, right? And these supercar manufacturers, sure, they sell a lot around how fast their cars are, but ultimately, there's a hidden benefit to buying a supercar, right? And the hidden benefit is status. Right? If you drive around in a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or some absurd, obscenely fast car that is very, very expensive, you do that largely because it's a status symbol. You may never put the pedal to the metal. You'll probably never break 60 or even 100 miles an hour unless you're spending time at the track, at least not legally. But why do you do that? It's very, very much a status symbol. So this is true with luxury brands. For luxury brands, the hidden benefit is status. Now, maybe you come out and say that, or maybe it's implied. If you look at a Rolex commercial or an ad for Rolex or Lamborghini or any of these companies, they imply status. They understand that a Lamborghini is really just some rubber and some metal and some engineering. Like it's a great car. I had a blast driving it. But more than anything, it's a status symbol for people who own it. So I'm asking you then, what is the hidden benefit of your product or service? What is the benefit to your customer? And go past the obvious. It's not about just saving time or money. Saving time and money is great. I hope you save lots of time and money. But what is the hidden benefit? Is it that they want to spend more time on the golf course? Is it they want the status symbol of the Rolex or the Lamborghini? Is it that their boss is breathing down their neck because they're over budget? What is the hidden benefit? And then tap into that, because if you can tap into that, you'll connect with your customer in a way that you never thought imaginable. Some of your most successful ads, I guarantee you, will highlight the hidden benefit, not the obvious features and benefit of your product. So take some time, talk to your customers, and really understand them, and go for the hidden benefits. This is Tyler, and you are listening to the Analytive Podcast. Hey guys, Tyler here again. Hey, wanted to take 1 second and talk to you about a product that we have over at Analytive. So in addition to consulting, I've created a lot of training courses. In fact, we have an SEO course that's just about ready to come out. And we also have a Google Analytics course. Our Google Analytics course is one that I'm very, very proud of. I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that thing, recording videos and tutorials and really taking analytics as I use it practically in a business, as a business owner, as a marketer, not digging into minute details that don't matter, but actually how to use analytics and data in your business, how to set up goals, how to understand what's really working in your marketing. So if you go to analytive.com analytive.com/GA, right? The letter G, the letter A, analytive.com/GA. It'll take you to the Google Analytics course. Go ahead and check that out if you are interested. If you feel that analytics is a place where you're really weak in your business and you want to more deeply understand what's working and what's not, and then make better decisions off of it, this course will help you. I promise you that. It'll help make you a smarter marketer if you take this course. So check it out. Take care.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.